Hey guys, Alec, Peirce, Scuba, Vintage Scuba. Now, we've already had a couple of sessions on spear guns, and I've had a few comments, and I really appreciate it. It's pretty neat. I'm glad some of you out there are still into spear fishing a little bit. It's a lot of fun. If you get a chance, even if you're not into it, if you get a chance sometime to go spear fishing, for gosh sakes, take it. It's fun. It's part of scuba diving. You can spear fish in Florida. You can spear fish anywhere, quite frankly. So if you get a chance, and maybe somebody in the dive store, you see some guns or something, and ask them about it. It can be a lot of fun, really exciting. You may or may not get fish. There's no given, but it's fun anyway. Okay, I want to show you a couple more spear guns from the old days. You can walk into a dive store, you can see all the fancy stuff today. Oh boy, they got really nice, shiny and new and everything else. It probably works okay too. Of course it does. But the old spear guns are pretty neat. Here's one right here. This is a pretty neat old gun. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This was around for a long, long time. This was called the Aqua King by Healthways. I don't know if you can see that there, but you see Aqua King. Well, I want you to zoom in, Kevin, because I want you to look at something. So you see Aqua King by Healthways. I'm going to hold it still for a minute and stay there. You see it there? Okay. Now here's the safety. You see here? You see this little piece of tin that floats? Can you see that? It floats back and forth. You see? So if it's like this, you can pull the trigger, right? But you push that like that. See what happens? It just comes down and keeps the trigger. That's the safety. Yeah, pretty neat. The Aqua King by Healthways. And it was a pretty neat old gun. Okay, Kev, open up now. A pretty neat old gun, but it's something you can get. It had a handle, it had a tube, and it had a shaft on top that went down inside and locked. Now this one has an option. Yes, for an extra $1.75. You could get the optional line reel, which is really just an attachment to fasten on here, and it had a spool, a wooden spool. This one is not the original, I don't think. Anyway, I think this has been remade. But this, you see, held your line. So you spool your line around this, and there was a little clip on the side to hold it so it didn't come spooling off, and the line ran up to your spear tip. It's that easy. Now, one thing that was neat about this particular gun, that is the Aqua King, as it's called from Healthways, is the propulsion method. It used rubber bands that were very unique. Now, these are the old rubber bands. I still have them on there. But I have a brand spanking new set of rubber bands for an Aqua King. See, so this goes there. And then, believe it or not, you see this end here? This end, believe it or not, goes all the way back. And there's a little metal clip, which I don't have in front of me. It's over there, Kevin. A little metal clip on the back, and it hooks underneath this pin. And that pin was unusual too. Most of them had a notch. So this had a pin sticking up. So you pull this back, all ready to go. And then you would take the so-called safety off with your thumb, pull the trigger, hopefully you got a fish. It's just a light, small, whole lot of fun. Line reel, boy, this is a loaded gun. This is a high-performance gun from the late 50s. Now, interestingly enough, that gun was actually pretty popular. So other companies copied it. Take a look at the two handles. They're virtually identical. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can zoom in here again, Kevin, but this particular gun, this is from Swimaster. And this is called the Kelp Gun. This is just for kelp. Oh yeah, you couldn't use this on a reef. Of course you could. But they named it the Kelp Gun because spearfishing was so popular. Look at the safety, Kev. You see it? It's the same safety. They put a little black knob on it. Well, it's the same safety. Trigger, everything is exactly the same. So, and this was quite common. It's even common today. Different companies will copy each other's products, but the handle and that mechanism is absolutely identical. But this is a kelp gun. Probably called a kelp gun because most spearfishermen, quite frankly, and the sport of spearfishing was most popular in California with the kelp. And they've added some features to this gun. They got a little line catch here, and they've gone to more conventional surgical tubing. Tubing goes up, through, and back down. This one does have those screw-on, what's this called? I'll think of the name in a minute. Down here, and this comes down and hooks into a notch, a very conventional notch. So this slightly later version of this earlier gun is a little more modernized. Okay, got a knob on the safety, line catch, and standard tubing. And whatever this is, I can't think of the name of it. I sold millions of them. But anyway, there you go. That's the problem when you get old, huh? Fortunately, I usually forget bad things. All right, I want to show you one more. Just one more. This is pretty neat. This is an automatic pole spear. How about that? Now, you know what a pole spear is. It's a long pole with a sharp end, and you hold it and you see something, you spear it. That's a pole spear. It's that easy. Some pole spears were enhanced with the use of a rubber band, and you'd hook the rubber band under your thumb, pull the pole spear back, stretch the rubber band out, and when you let it go, the fish, a little more power to it. This is an automatic pole spear. Kind of a contradiction in terms, but let me explain what I mean. Beautiful big spear shaft on this, very, very heavy shaft on this, see? Very, very heavy. And that can be important if you have enough power to throw it, because a heavier shaft, it's kind of like a Magnum cartridge coming out of a gun. If you have a Magnum cartridge, which is usually means more power, first of all, and a much heavier lead bullet, a much heavier bullet in it, when it hits the animal, it hits with more force. So it drives in farther, whatever it has to do. This is a very, very heavy spear. And this is the gun. This is the automatic pole spear. What's with this? Let me show you. It's pretty neat. Okay. Shaft is perfectly smooth and clean, the whole thing. Oh no, there's a notch way up here. Okay, watch. So you slide this in like this, push the lever down. Oops. Push the lever down. Try again, Alec. Slide your shaft in like so, right? Like that. And it gets back to about here. And then you put the shaft into the cup on the rubber. Keep going. Now you see what's happening? You can probably figure this out, can't you? See what's happening? Now as I push forward, see? Now the rubber's getting stretched. I keep going, I keep going. And finally, eventually, if I keep going and keep going, just a minute now. I have to adjust this a little wee bit. If I keep going, you stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch, and finally, hear that? It locks into the slide. Whew. And that rubber is really stretched out there. Okay, come on, fish. There's one. And you just squeeze the trigger like that. And of course, out it goes and gets the fish. So it's a pole spear, meaning there's not really a gun per se. Secondly, it's automatic. It has a sort of a trigger on it, doesn't it? Now, I did not stretch this out for a simple reason. First of all, these bands are 30 or 40 years old, more than that, 50 years old. And they look pretty good. They really look really good. But I'm afraid if I stretch it out too far, that I will break the bands. And you may really make for a very exciting video, but I'm liable to get hurt. And I know you wouldn't want that. Anyway, there you go, guys. 3 more interesting, old, different, but neat spear guns from the old days. I hope you enjoyed that. Kind of fun. I will talk to you again real soon. I got more stuff to show you, more vintage stuff, all kinds of neat stuff. Send in your comments. Love them. Alec Peirce Scuba. Take care.